Hello, my gorgeous gals and gays. I hope that you can't hear Mariah Carey playing in the background because my dad's just having a hoot. We both are. We were both just singing We'll Always Love You. Anyway, I've got myself a snack. It is yogurt with protein and a little bit of almond butter and frozen berries and chalk shot from Sweet Freedom. So, nail appreciation. I just wanted to come and talk about my fitness diet update. If you're interested, stick around. So, let's talk about the journey. I really hope that you can't hear the music and that I don't get copyrighted. So we've been through it. The music part is stressing me out. Like, hold on. Okay, you know what? It is what it is. I'm just going to try and keep talking so that you can't hear it and like the focus goes on my voice. So I started out okay. The summer actually was my strength. I was very busy with work. And in a way that structure really helped me with my diet because I had no time to think. When you have time to think and be bored and sit with your feelings, it's very easy to just go and ruin everything. And when you're busy, and I mean, I just started my job this year, so I got so busy with that. And it was the newness of it as well, and it was the summer. I think it's easier in the summer to eat less and just be out in the sun and be happy. And yeah, the winter came. Oh, like the autumn came. Man, that sounds so depressing. But the autumn came. I just need to keep my nails in the shop because they're just fine. Autumn came, and I was doing okay, and then I was not doing okay, and then I was doing okay, and then I was not doing okay, and then I was doing okay, and then I was really, really, really not doing okay. And then I started to do okay again. And then I was back to not doing okay. And it's been a nightmare, to say the very least. And not because of my trainer. Not because I haven't benefited from taking better care of my health. But just because it has amplified eating issues that I already had. And in my continuous mess ups, I have learned a lot. And I think upon reflection, I'll learn more, and through action and time passing, I will continue to learn more about myself. But I've messed up in so many areas of my life recently that it's made me more aware of what I need to feel good in myself. I have deactivated Instagram a couple of times. I have tried to change my environment. I've tried to cut things out and go cold turkey. I've even gone weeks not talking to my trainer, not because she has done anything wrong, but because I was just going through it. And also I wanted to recalibrate and see what my voice was, because it started to feel like the only motivation or incentive I had was fear of punishment, basically. Like, and not that my trainer would punish me, but just knowing somebody else was watching, that accountability, if you will, felt like punishment, and I was afraid of it, and I felt like I couldn't handle anything. And because I had so many life changes in the past 2-3 months in terms of responsibilities and what I'm trying to do, I just got so overwhelmed and I got so burnt out, and I couldn't find my voice, and I couldn't figure out why I was doing what I was doing. Anyway, in the last low that we had, I didn't go completely off my diet, but I certainly neglected myself in a way. I just let myself do what I wanted. And so for the beginning of this phase recently, I was really good. I was like, I'm just gonna, really stick to this, really go good. And then I'll give myself one cheat meal a week. And I had this cheat meal when I was on a date with somebody. So this is going back now maybe like 2-3 weeks. Spiral. One thing led to another. I'll clean it up tomorrow. And a quick thing on tomorrow. I'll probably mention this in one of my guides at some point, but your tomorrow self is betting on you today to show up for them. People talk about your future self. I don't give enough of a shit about my future self. I'm sorry. I don't. Not yet. My frontal lobe has not developed that far. And I think also if you're somebody that struggles with mental health, this is going to be really real, but it's the truth. I always feel like this is going to sound ridiculous, but I feel like I'm on the brink of death a lot of the time, which is not great. It's like I am very, unfortunately, extreme emotionally, in the sense that it's like either I have the most purposeful life or I don't live at all, because I just can't I'm not motivated by, ooh, I need to be able to get a car, and I'm gonna go on holiday. Like, it's not enough for me. Maybe I'm too spoiled, maybe I'm too privileged, but I need connection. I need obviously what all of us need, but I think I just need it a lot more. I need emotion to feel like life is worth living. I need freedom of emotional and personal expression. Otherwise, it just doesn't feel worth it to me at all. So I always am like kind of aware of how I could just, not that I would, just to be clear, and of course I'm not trying to influence that. I hope that's evident. Like, I'm here, and like if you check further back on my channel, like there's a lot of stuff to do with not following through with certain things. So guys, I very much believe in sticking around, but that, of course, your belief can be one thing and how you feel can be another. And how I often feel is that there's, it's very easy, unfortunately, for me to get to the point where, well, none of it's worth it. And that's really sad, and I'm trying to work on that, and I'll go to therapy for it. But because of that, I can't think, 6 months from now, because I don't feel anything. A lot of the time I feel numb. Again, something to be addressed in therapy. So, but what I realized does help is thinking about tomorrow. I can think about tomorrow. I can think about tomorrow version of me. I know what it felt like yesterday to think about tomorrow, and so I can think about tomorrow again, and I can say, okay, I can be caring towards her. I can be loving towards her. And that's actually kind of been helpful. So I don't know where I am now rambling, but I just want to say that, it touches on like a recent reel on this channel as well, or a short, where I talked about feeling the desire to take care of myself genuinely because I want to, not because I should. And I think that's coming from a place of like having messed up so much, where it's like you mess up so much, you sit with yourself so much, you get to a point where you realize like it's gonna be hard either way. Being fat is my nose dripping? Oh my god, look at that. It's freezing. Excuse me. Being fat is hard. Being ugly is hard. I saw myself be bloated, and like not just like a day-to-day bloat, but like I bloated from eating crap for weeks on end. And when you've seen yourself with your gains, and all of a sudden it's like the script is flipped, you're like, oh, it doesn't feel so good. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of what I was like in 2022, 2023, when I was like the most shredded, if you will, I'd ever been. And then I just honestly neglected myself, indulged so much, and I suddenly put on the weight and so much more. And the way that it affected my self-esteem, I didn't feel my best. And I kind of, like, I'm still cute, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I need to stop lying to myself. I feel my best when I am more toned, when I am not eating like I'm a trash can every day. My story's gone around, so I'm trying to like keep that in mind. Okay, I've got enough for now. Because of this awareness, I'm actually taking more, I feel desire to actually be in a calorie deficit. And I can do it. And the gym is just so inspiring to me because of my inner conversations. And one of the things, I was on the like curl, and I was like looking at it was my last set, and I was like, I can't do it. And I just reminded myself, I was like, whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. So I just said, I can. I didn't fucking believe it, but I did it. I had to do 12 to 15 reps. I got about 13. I took it 1 rep at a time. I said to myself, I was like, each rep is a win. Each rep is a win. And I'm working on being kinder to myself, because at the end of the day, it's me with me. And if I want to influence people, because I want to influence people positively, then I got to work on being kind to myself, because I wouldn't want to influence people to be mean to themselves. And I'm just trying to share each little bit of the journey, be honest about it, because that's how we can actually help each other. We're all here to grow. We're all here to do well. We're all here to celebrate ourselves and each other. And that's not going to happen very well on my channel, IRL, if I don't feel good in my skin. So I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm trying something called the cookie method. I made it up. I've been thinking a lot about my issues and how I keep ordering creams. There's a cookie dough there. Oh, you guys, weakness. At the best of my diet in the past few months, I couldn't actually get past eating half of it because I started to feel sick, because that's where my sugar tolerance had got to. Now, of course, my storage cut out, but we're back. We're back. So the creams, let's address it. I could only have up to a half. Now, I can have like 2 in a day, because that's what my sugar tolerance is. It's a bit concerning. And that's my biggest weakness. Cookies. More specifically, like cookie dough. And I was like thinking of something that I wanted to invent, like a dessert thing. Because what it is I don't want to have to spend like 10-15 pounds on a dessert, like to curb like the craving. Well, but that doesn't really curb the craving. It just kind of, that is the anyway. But I don't want to spend 15 pounds for each time I want to have a warm cookie. But at the same time, I don't have time to bake cookies. So it's just a really big problem in my life. Like it genuinely is. Because I was like, I realized in all of this, I don't want to give up cookies. So I was thinking the past few days, I was like, if there was a system where I could just have a cookie a day, I think I could actually do this. So guys, I went to Sainsbury's and I got this and this. Okay, this one is 4 Belgian milk chocolate cookies, and this is a limited edition 4 gingerbread Belgian white chocolate cookies. And what I'm thinking is, I train myself like I'm a freaking dog. I train myself like I'm a little baby, like I'm a kid, which is that if I behave right, I get a cookie at the end of the day. So I'm going to be trying this method with myself to keep myself in check for the next 8 days. And when I say behave well, that means don't eat refined sugar. That's another thing. I went to sleep last night thinking, what if I just decided that I don't eat refined sugar? Obviously now that's not, but I was like, that would change things. That would change things. Because it's about your identity. Like if you just say, I don't eat refined sugar, you don't associate it with it. You don't associate it with it. You don't associate with it anymore. Don't know what's going on, but you would look at something and then be like, well, I don't eat refined sugar, and then go back to living your life. It changes things, whereas like, oh, I'm trying to cut down, or I'm not eating this right now, like this, I'm just trying to reduce, or maybe just 1 or 2, like if so I'm thinking of trying to go about my life in a different way. And like when I was out today, I was at the shops, and then I was like, oh, I fancy that red velvet cake, and this thing is good, and that thing is good, and this thing is good. And I was like, having to remind myself, like, no, we're not going to have this. We don't do this. We don't do that. We don't eat refined sugar. We don't eat, like, too much processed food, da-da-da-da. So I'm like, okay. I'm losing my flow. I'm so sorry, guys. But I've just typed in Eru 3 onto my computer. I need to go, as you might be able to tell. But yeah, I'm trying something that I've called the cookie method. Hopefully it goes well. But it's like, if cookies are my motivation, like if I was a kid, right? Like if I had a kid, and that's the thing, that's another thing I've been thinking about. It's like, if I had a kid, part of me just wants to become a mother, because I feel like I would just learn to love myself better through loving my child. But then I'm like, Mahika, maybe don't do that, because the logistics. It'll be the dumbest idea ever. No. I was like, rather than having a child, why don't you just take care of your inner child and take care of yourself? So yeah, so what I'm gonna do, like looking through the lens of, if I had a daughter or a son, like I had a kid, would I let them eat cookies the whole damn day? No, because it's not good for them. It would ruin their teeth. It would make them fat, which, I'm sorry, is not great. Like, if you're fat in an unhealthy way, no. It would ruin, like, clog their arteries. Like, no. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't harm my child like that. Especially, like, I spent all this time creating this precious being only to destroy them. Like, and trauma is guaranteed already. So to pile cookies on top of that, like, it's immoral. So I was like, I wouldn't do that. But at the same time, would I have them eating grass food all day? No. I saw this reel. I want to actually go onto my Instagram to find it for you guys, and it was actually super inspirational. There's this girl. She is shredded. There's so many girls I follow that are shredded, and I'm like, you guys are amazing. You guys are just goals. Like, Hanji? Tika? So there's this girl called Fitzy Lifts, Fitzye Lifts, and she had this reel about food. Let's click on it. If you feel lost about how you should eat for your goals, I will make it simple for you. Don't eat more, don't eat less, just eat better. That was really helpful for reframing, because she was showing like a lot of volume, and just eat better. Like it just reframes, because it's about recognizing that what you're doing is not to make you suffer, but rather you're improving the quality of stuff that you are consuming. Just eat better. I know it sounds funny, and like her, I just, yeah, let's see what she wrote next to it. Okay, so she says, often I see comments where you're unsure whether to eat more to build muscle or eat less to lose fat. You're really just overcomplicating things, especially if you're just starting out and have multiple goals like losing fat and getting muscle at the same time. My advice is to stop overthinking and focus on eating the most important thing, which is eating healthy, eating better, eating smarter. Eating this way solves almost all your problems. First, it helps you control your portions naturally, because healthy foods like protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs keep you fuller for longer. Second, it helps you hit your goals of gaining muscle and losing fat, because you're giving your body the fuel it actually needs and the macro and micro it needs to do what it needs to do, which is building muscle and losing fat. Once you fix the way you eat, you won't even have to stress about eating more or less. It'll all fall into place, trust me. That's exactly what I do right now. I'm maintaining my weight, and it works because I eat healthy about 80% of the time. Balance is key. During my cut in June, I ate intuitively and still managed to lose 5 kgs in 5 weeks, because I adjusted my plate ratio intuitively, and it worked very well. And she talks about like her website and how you can find her stuff there. But that was helpful. Another reel that was helpful, Georgia Hines, she's talking about how sugar hijacks your brain, and here's what happens when you cut it out for 30 days. I think she said, like, for the first week, it's horrible. You're going to get withdrawal. You're going to crave it all the time. The second week, I think she said, what was it, like, fruit starts tasting sweeter, because your sort of like your baseline has been reset. By the third week, your physical results start to come in. And then, what was it, by the fourth week, what did she say? Okay, maybe I should listen to it, like listen with the audio.
Chance to heal. By the end of the 30 days, your energy is steady. No more crashes, no more slumps, just consistent feel-good vibes. But cutting it out isn't a punishment. It's about giving your body the rest it deserves and breaking the habit that you can take back control. So if you're focusing on cutting out sugar, try adding more real whole foods instead of obsessing over the labels. Make it a reset, not a restriction.
So that's been helpful. There's also this girl, oh my god, she's amazing. Her name is Strong with Sarah on Instagram. This is the thing with Instagram and following fitfluencers. Part of me doesn't like it because it makes me feel like it's not their fault, but when you don't feel like you don't look like them, like it's very hard to it's very easy to undermine your personal progress and your 1% of change, and it's easy to really get into that thing of comparing yourself and thinking you're not good enough. But sometimes it can also just be the best inspiration. And I just want to be clear, my trainer is super inspirational, but it's kind of like sometimes it's that thing where your parent tells you one thing and you don't listen to it, and then your aunt or like cousin tells you something and you're like, oh my god, yeah, and it's just the same information, just like from a different person. So there is sometimes that where it's like, oh, I had this realization, and my trainer's like, yeah, yes. Yeah, but it's yeah, I appreciate this. Just eat better. the thing on the sugar is like it helped me realize it's normal. I think when you start telling yourself stories like I can't do this, or I'm really bad at this, or when you start saying that, you of course you're going to be bad. Like it's the same thing as like I can and I can't. If you say I'm really bad at doing this, I'm really that, and I'm a fraud, and I fail so much, and like even in my head I'll be like, oh my god, like my trainers, other clients are probably so much better than me, you know, they're better behaved, I'm a liar, I'm this, I'm that, I fail so much, and I'm probably super difficult to like, girl, calm down. Calm down. You're a human being trying something that's actually very difficult, because if it was super easy, everyone would freaking do it. Okay? And the other thing about just eating better, it reframes a lot. I'll take this December energy as long as it gives me the good, which is that you do things because it feels good to take care of your tomorrow self. I have spent so much money on caffeine. I've destroyed my gut. I've destroyed my sanity. There's a way, that's the thing. That's what the past few weeks have been, weeks/months, which is there's a hard way of going about things, and there's an easier way to go about things. Things are going to be hard, like we've established. Things are going to be difficult. But there's a way you can do it where it's a lifestyle and you're kind to yourself and you don't have to hate yourself along the way. You can love the ups and downs, learn to live with them, move through them. I was thinking this morning about inspiration. It's like similar to what I said in my discipline video, but don't wait to feel inspired. You know, you don't get inspiration. You be inspiration. Go and do the things that make you feel inspired by yourself. I'm really rambling at this point. I'm sorry. But I have had now maybe like 7 or 8 days off of work, which has been very productive. I've got another 3. And I'm going to have a lot more time with myself. I've learned a lot during this time, and I'm very grateful for that. I've learned what is not good for me and what I do want. And I'm thinking more long term as well. I need to do better for myself. But I don't want to like stress it and be like, you have to do this because I've done that. I've been doing that. And it's just mean. And I get really mean. I like feeling like a little bit of a geek. I like sitting down and opening a book and reading and highlighting and annotating. I like saying to guys that I can't meet them because I'm busy, because it's damn true. I like showing up as my highest self on YouTube and actually helping people on a regular basis. I like believing in myself. I like pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I like doing affirmations to make me feel good. I like getting along with my parents and spending time with them and talking to them. I like seeing my sister when I can and bonding and enjoying our young 20s together here and there where we can. I love meeting my friends and having a giggle and a cry. I'm finding my purpose in the day-to-day. And the last thing I'm going to touch on is I forgot. That's good. Stop. Hi guys. I forgot what I was saying yesterday, but I remembered today. Oh, who's looking snatched? Shout out to M&S. This is actually super warm. A little expensive, I won't lie, but when you literally you live at home. Sorry. When you live at home, you barely go out. Who gives a shit? Like, you just repeat, right? And it's warm. That's what matters. The booty is bootying. What I wanted to say that I conveniently forgot yesterday was in self-improvement journeys, irrespective of who you are, I feel like, or just in growth in general, in life, there's a time, well, more so if you're a creator, there's a time for input and there's a time for output. And it doesn't mean what this looks like. Input is where you're learning and output is where you're the teacher. So student versus teacher. When I say this, it doesn't mean that you need to sit down and not have any output, or that you're never learning, you just quit learning for a time being. But I think that there are phases and seasons in our lives where we're meant to sit back and do more learning, and phases and seasons where we can come and teach. And I have witnessed this, I've observed this in some self-improvement YouTubers where I think they would benefit from some time just to themselves to recalibrate, figure out what's important to them, what their actual values are, what their mission is, what they're trying to promote in this world, and who they are trying to be for themselves as well. That being said, I think that I have been in a big phase of output over the past year and a half, and I mean that's evident from my main channel. I think I'm entering a phase of input where I need to, quite honestly, learn. I need to invest in myself, and I need to practice what I preach through and through, not just on a day where I'm feeling good. And if I'm going to do this, I want to genuinely be an example, but also it's not, if your goals are shallow, they get hollow real quick. Like, okay, I look a certain way, and yeah, it's gonna get me a certain amount of likes on Instagram, which is fun, but if you're not at peace with yourself when you're going to bed at night, you're not at peace with yourself. And I really, I'm all for being a bad girl, I'm all for being a bold girl, but I am wanting to actually enter a bit more of a good girl energy for myself, because I think I owe it to myself to create peace in my life. I have quite honestly created so much chaos, and it's come from immaturity, it's come from being unhealed, it's come from fear, it's come from letting my fear get the best of me. And I am just entering a phase where I really just want to input and focus on my character and focus on my inner confidence and focus on who I am and where I want to go. And I know it's easier said than done, but I do genuinely feel that energy. It's exhausting otherwise, because then there's this huge gap, dissonance between who you're presenting yourself as and who you spend the majority of your time being. And there were a couple of goals that I wanted to have achieved in the next few weeks that I'm not going to achieve. And I know it's because I've spread my energy too thin. And so I'm not going to go into detail because I'm still figuring it out. I think I might come and post on Unfiltered a little more, like when I get random bursts of inspiration, or I want to have a ramble or rant about something or the other. But I'm going to, besides that, I think I'm going to take a break from YouTube. I think we'll see. I need to check some of my situations in January. I'll see, but I might genuinely be taking a break from being a creator, at least for a couple of months, just to genuinely just really focus on getting a routine. One sec. Echo, what's the time?
It's 11:59 a.m.
Okay, we gotta go soon. Really just focusing on getting a routine in, and structure and meditation, spending time with myself, pushing myself out of my comfort zone and making friends, building a community that's not just online but IRL. That's healthy too. One of my friends is actually moving back home, and home is another country. I have quite a small, tight-knit group of friends, best friends, and so that's another friend that I'm not going to be able to see. Like, obviously we can stay in touch, but it's not really the same. So really just looking at where I want to be. I am going to be 25 soon, and it does feel like a deadline in a way, and I don't need to have everything figured out, definitely not. And it's not for other people, it's an internal pressure where it's like there are certain things that I just don't want to be messing up anymore when I hit 25, and I really want to see that through for myself. I think that's it. Yeah, I think this video is probably already long enough, but I just wanted to also just quickly say thank you for your support and thank you for being there. And I know that, you know, I'm definitely not as curated and like together as other creators for sure. I guess we'll work on it. Yeah, but I really just need some time, because it's very easy as well when you get caught up in the dopamine game of how many subscribers you have and how much external validation you're getting, especially when you're struggling with low confidence. When you get caught up in that, it's so easy to lose sight of why you're doing what you're doing and to start prioritizing perhaps quantity over quality or quick clicks. And I really have never wanted to be somebody that loses their integrity in the name of like fame, or I'm not saying that's what people do, by the way, all the time, not at all, but I don't want to lose sight of my humanity and why we're doing this and how words have impact and how I can have an impact. And if I'm going to have an impact, it may as well be a good one and one that is thought through. So that's it for now. That's the ramble. I'm going out today very soon. I need to go grab my oats, but I'm going to my old uni town and I'm really excited. I've been feeling really nostalgic about it recently. I don't know what that is. I just feel sad. Like, I don't know what that is. I'm not even PMSing, but I'm still excited to go there, and my intention is to go to the library there, which I can access, and sit there and study. That's it, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.